Friends, we're live. It's Saturday night. Hope everybody's well. I don't know if my friends from the 4Train channel are out there. I perhaps vlogging too late tonight. Hope everybody's hanging in there during this time of unprecedented fear, with a added touch of surrealism, indeed. It is astounding. Some people talk about predictive programming and synchronicities. Certainly, if you're a fan of the movies, television, the endless amount of horror films that seem to obviously relate to this worldwide pandemic, Resident Evil, what was it? The Brad Pitt one, Zombie. The zombie world. I mean, countless. The Walking Dead. I can remember a few years back, the system out there was sort of talking a lot about zombies, and sorry, the endless talk about zombies. I think there was even like health drills associated with zombies, and people. There's a whole zombie phenomena. People party and act like zombies. It's very interesting. In the Brad Pitt movie, the cure is, of course, a serum. That there'll be an antidote. And there's a lot of new jargon. I don't know what you guys think. I just watched last night an old school film, Prince of Darkness. Reality changes on the at the subparticle level. Reality changes. I forget how the line goes. The Brotherhood of Shadows was the secret group that protected in the basement of this church. There's like this water-based evil. And they talk about if there's a god, there's an anti-god. So certainly in the social media age, the interconnected age, the Internet of Things that they're talking about, this horrifying experience of this pandemic is combined one-on-one with the internet and with social media. The experience is lived that way. So we're all supposed to shelter in place it's very, very much an internet experience. Has anybody seen that film, Prince of Darkness? It's cool. It's John Carpenter. It's zombie-like. In that the powers of darkness possess these people. There's an excellent cameo from the Rock frontman Alice Cooper in that movie. Let me see if I can get there's a brilliant line in there. Because our logic collapses on the subatomic level. A brilliant line from Dr. Yang, I think his name is in that movie. It features none other than Donald Pleasance from Halloween, which I got a kick out of how he was the sheriff and he would always warn people in all the Halloweens. It's like, you sheriff, don't be an idiot. Michael Myers is still alive. And then this one, he's sort of that character. Prince of Darkness is definitely very Lovecraftian. Yes. Yes. Right. Prince of Darkness is definitely great. And yeah, and The Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill, who was in Riley Ace of Spies from way back, and Event Horizon, right? Right, my friend? I love that whole idea of the Brotherhood of Sleep. He has this way of his films, they almost look kind of cheap and campy at the same time, and yet he does these absolutely brilliant things to get you in the mood. That film goes way back, and it's like there's something that he does that is better than all the CGI stuff in a sense that's here now, sort of. Like how he does the dream thing, it's like almost like a video. Donald Pleasance. He's excellent. Oh, okay, right. Carpenter. I didn't know Carpenter did direct In the Mouths of Madness as well. And The Thing, which is incredible. Say goodbye to reality. Say goodbye to classical reality because our logic collapses on the subatomic level into ghost and shadows. What a line. The uncanny and seemingly illogical discoveries of quantum physics open the possibility to science acknowledging the validity of religion. No problem. Very random. AS, are you over in London, United Kingdom, by any chance? Or is that? You're with the Fortrain group? I love it. Um, oh, yeah. So Wales, so it's the same thing. You're in lockdown, right? Love your guys' show. So far, the ones you have up on YouTube, I think my favorite was the James Shelby Downard. Your use of the you got the line out of Hellraiser was brilliant. You called, we came. Pinhead, right? Oh my God, that gets into the whole Saturn stuff, right? The cube. Guy's show is great. The lockdown feeling. Yes, I was. Oh, just in the beginning, I was going over how the coronavirus has that feel of the whole Resident Evil, Walking Dead kind of thing, which begs the question that those movies always have tend to that there will be an antidote, of which they're talking about, and they say it's malaria. I've heard countless rumors that they out of Wuhan that they first said it affects uh, reproduction systems, and they said no. And that, as you guys I think were saying, that they have mentioned that there's a HIV component to it. Yeah, 9/11. What are they dubbing the? They're not dubbing an official number to this. Just 2020, right? Or 2019. The number we're going with is actually because it's COVID-19, right? And there are people that have come out and said it's a viral weapon, and of course, as usual, your typical person is focused on the emotional aspect of it, and there's no questioning that there isn't. It's not permitted to speculate. That tends to be what happens with these major events. This is a tragedy. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, that is a huge question. Is the media going overboard? Fans, my friend, I just got to get some water for a sec. Hang tight. I'll just be back for a second. Got to stay hydrated. Over here during the BBC News report, someone off camera coughs. So do they usually edit that out, or no coughing? No coughing on the BBC. You remember the Dr. David Kelly story over where you guys are? And he was like, I will not commit suicide. And he was a viral biologist, weapons biologist guy. And I'm not the type, and if I commit suicide, I'm not. And then there was some reporters that were, shall we say, at that time, more quality BBC guys. And Tony Blair fired them. I don't know if you remember that part, but Professor David Kelly. Yeah. I remember him saying, I'm not going to commit suicide. I'm not the type. It's like, did you ever hear the one about the DC madam? She goes, if I commit suicide, it's not me. I'm not depressed. Then she committed suicide. She was known as the DC madam. It's like, it's strange. Now it's to the point where these guys go on. They go, I'm gonna get whacked, and if I commit suicide, it's not me. And then they just report, and then if you question it, they go, "That's ridiculous, you conspiracy fool." It's like, okay, guy said I wasn't gonna whack myself. That's Have you guys noticed over? This is a really weird. This is a very basic point, but have you noticed how year after year, or even now, the difference between the UK and the States and the United States is just like negligible now? Like there used to be a long time ago some different stuff, beyond just saying it's the tube instead of the train or a lorry and the different guys. It's like and maybe even more European. The difference between the countries now is just more and more and more. It's like we're the same now. It's like, of course, you got the parliaments of different countries, but it's like, I don't know if it's because of TV or whatever. It's growing more and more. The special relationship, yes, indeed, of the crown. Did you notice that part when you guys had the Olympics? That they very deliberately had that drama, that psychodrama of Daniel Craig goes with the Queen. Obviously, Daniel Craig. It was clearly to me a salute to like John Dee. You know, the occultist John Dee, and the Queen. He's there. That's the actor Daniel Craig, but he was clearly representing Bond with the Queen. Remember that when they were like standing? Yeah. Oh, it was clear that when they did a ceremony and the games thing, it was just creepy. I thought it was really creepy. I mean, I thought, you know what, me personally, I thought the Russian one was very straightforward and very pleasant. And I thought the UK games thing was loaded with creepy, dark symbolism. Like, did you see when they christened that tunnel in Switzerland? Yeah, the goddess Britannia. Yeah, I think he escorts her. He escorted the Queen to the games. Um, yeah, the CERN tunnel thing. That was just what the. Why is it? I mean, so weird. I mean, it's like these public works projects, and it's just amazingly symbolic. Like the new One World Trade Center is 1776 feet, and it's clearly an obelisk structure. You got the island feeling to it. I was actually taught by a teacher of mine um, that his view was there's a lot of geographical feeling to how people act too. Like Japan and the UK, it's aggressive. The people are aggressive warriors because you got that feeling that you're trapped on an island, and so you have to take from the continent, from the mainland, from the other areas, and that it's the style of the martial arts is influenced. Like the Japanese one is very straightforward, straight with their samurai swords, like cut, like very straight. Everything's straight, and they get it done. Whereas China's huge, and they make beautiful circular movements with their martial arts and their style. Like they have a lot of wide room, and like Korea, they feel like they're stuck. Their back is against a wall on a peninsula, and them in Italy are aggressive in a different way because they feel like their back is against the wall and so forth. It's interesting. There, have you read that or checked out that book, John Dee. Empire of Angels? Fantastic. Fantastic. For, that he inspired Elizabeth to be the fairy queen, basically kick ass. 480 at one point 485 million people were imbued with the whole Great Britain, thing. She was the fairy queen. It was at Spencer. They contracted out the poet, and that she had that, like, you know, your Majesty, vision yourself as the fairy queen as we kick ass. And she hired the privateers. We've got an extension from that now. Like in the States, we've got the Blackwater, we've got the privateer. You can. It's in a sense, it's got that idea. Continue. You can make money on and be involved and continue the empire. That to me is the real thing. I think they've recently tried to glorify the pirates and go, oh, it's egalitarian, and well, women had rights to vote and all this stuff. And I don't know, maybe whatever, but people seldom to me give the idea like, hey, the queen was offering cash to to take your pirate fleet and kind of kick ass on the side. That is, the whole thing is fascinating. And yet I don't know how you felt. I think the recent time when the Russians were going by and they were like, we'll kick your ass or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's brilliant. The whole concept of tribute to Bond, the tip of the hat to Bond is very, very interesting. I was gonna you're familiar with obviously Philby. You guys were talking about the Cambridge Five and how they were devastatingly destructive to the British intelligence. And I was gonna talk to you guys with this when you do the other show, but what the heck, we're gabbing now. Yeah, well, he's clearly 007 is D's number, right? It's basically Kabbalistic number. Yeah. So Philby was one of them, and his father was also a huge spy. And there was a part where he was speaking to the Saudis. Ooh, the Apostles' Cult. That's interesting. I haven't really heard that aspect of it. Burgess. A lot of people, I find that absolutely fascinating. I know a lot of people had trouble sitting through the John Le Carré, Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy, whatnot, because it was a little dry. So the key was you had to know the story of the Five, with the Cambridge Five, to really enjoy that, probably. Because it's probably heavy. If you're just going to watch a spy movie for a spy kind of feel to it, you'd be like, oh, I don't know, this is kind of slow moving. If you knew that, yeah, I know. Anyway, I went off track. Anyway, Sir John Philby, the dad, was also a huge spy, and this is a small point, but he said to the Saudis, go with the Americans now. Like the power was gonna transfer to the States. Like he knew, like British Empire, now invest with the Americans. It's like he knew stuff because he was like a double agent, and it sounds like also the father didn't have the best interest of England, just like obviously Philby didn't. I know Tinker Tailor was incredible. Sir Alec Guinness is incredible in that, and the The remake is also really good too. Why can't I think of the guy who does him? He just played Churchill. What the heck was this? Why can't I think of his name? He's in The Professional. God, he's a great actor. Anyway, his name escapes me. Um, and he plays it as good, but I don't know. Sir Alec Guinness played Smiley even better. Yeah, the remake. Tinker Tailor. Yeah, Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman. I can't believe I forgot Gary Oldman's name. Oh, shoot. I didn't know Tom Hardy was in that one. He's astounding. Benedict Cumberbatch is incredible. Really good actor. But somehow Tom Hardy lends himself some more reality to him. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Gary Oldman is so good, he's freaky. John Le Carré. The Circus. Operation Witchcraft. Did you see the more yeah, it is a great remake. Did you see Atomic Blonde, which was a fun movie, a symbolic, fakey movie, but really good. Yeah, La Clare was a real spy. I've heard that maybe he was out. I've heard that maybe he was listed and outed by Philby himself, but I don't know. I can't back that up at the moment. But yeah, he was the real deal. He still keeps it on the down low. Atomic Blonde. If you're into Charlize Theron, who's beautiful, and you're into Joy Division or New Order or incredible music, it's off the hook, off the charts, brilliant, as you guys would say. I haven't seen the John Parsons series either. It looks pretty damn good. There's just so much stuff, and then they ask you to subscribe to a new thing, and they ask you to do this, and you gotta have Hulu, you gotta have this, you gotta have Netflix, and it just gets to be so much. I don't know. I don't know if you saw my weird rap about the what did I do? I did one on Twin Peaks. I was definitely, that scene looked like the Kenneth Grant. You were talking about Kenneth Grant. We were talking, and I did a lot of these influenced by him. I thought they would definitely. He reveals a lot of stuff. He talks a lot about a lot of stuff, and it looked like they got into that. Have you seen Part 2, Twin Peaks: The Return, with the atomic bomb explosion? Pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. Oh yeah. I like that. It's amazing when you come to a place like in those cities. To me, it's unmistakable. Like when you go to that Piccadilly Circus and you go to Times Square in New York, and you're in these places, and it's just unmistakable, the energy. I mean, even for people who aren't into like chi, I love all that stuff. To feel the chi energy. I'm gonna do more talking about that here. You feel the Piccadilly Circus, definitely certain parts of Times Square, different areas. It's just the feng shui feeling. A lot of people are like, no, you're weird, you're crazy, and talking. It's unmistakable. It is. It is. And to me, it doesn't. It pops up in strange places. Like, I've been there for a long time, but when you go up the tube and you rise up and you get to the street there, right in the circus, it's incredible. And then, of course, in Times Square where they drop the ball, it's unmistakable. But then, like, if you're in certain places in the area, certain rooms, it's just overwhelming. Like, I always laugh, like, um, 42nd Street in New York, there's a Starbucks near the theaters, and there's something for me, like if you're in line there or you're waiting for the movies or you go into those, it's just beaming with it, beaming, and then more and more, and then when you get into the square, it's like overwhelming. I don't know if for the Londoners, if they avoid that area, because the New Yorkers, they don't care for Times Square. So I don't know if London's the same thing, if they maybe find it, that area, kind of tacky too. I don't know. Yeah, ley lines, to my feeling and understanding, but they're almost like acupuncture meridians on the earth. I totally believe it. Really? So there's Piccadilly. So there's no nasty characters down there. Times Square is like Marvel comic books now. It's just like you get your picture with Iron Man. Oh yeah, the lane lines totally make sense. Uh yeah, like Brooklyn, New York. The some people I've met that are longtime New Yorkers, they miss it. They don't like the gentrified thing like Brooklyn. Well, they love it. They're loving Brooklyn, but the whole Manhattan. It's a bloody shame. What's one of my favorites? Have you seen Dempsey and Makepeace? I love that one. With the guys Soho. So that was the art area. That's the art area. They got a Soho in New York City. Soho and No Ho. Love it. Giles Barber, Michael Brandon, Dempsey and Makepeace. Because I'm thinking of that because they show um, Times Square, old school Times Square, and then they show old school Piccadilly Circus. The circus. Oh yeah, the Bohemian area. Where did I go one time? Down by Victoria Station and stuff. They used to have Columbus Circle in New York. They used to do poetry up there, kind of like you guys have on Sunday, where people rap. Like they don't even do that there anymore. I don't think. So I know, and your buildings are changing, right? The flavor of them. You got a lot of like. When did I last get a good peek? When I went to see shoot, the Rock with Jason Statham. Yeah, the free speech corner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just set that aside right there. Everything's bullshit. um, Jason Statham and The Rock, that you get a view of the New England, right? Yeah, the horror, the glass buildings. It's like, yeah, that is sad. It looks kind of like Hong Kong or Shanghai. Do you like some of the old school New York one, like the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building are pretty cool, but the newer ones, they look like glass spaceships. Yeah, no style. Dempsey and Makepeace. Who knows? You might even make a team. Yeah, the old. There's obviously less of it. This was fantastic. The feeling of it. Those cities are incredible. I get the feeling when you go to London, they want you to keep moving. Keep moving. It's like the whole place. Like, keep moving. Tower of London. Check out the Beefeater guys. Keep moving. London and New York. They both got that. You gotta have a ticket. You go to New York and London. You're traveling around. If you want to, you gotta have a ticket. I mean, unless you're visiting your friends or hanging out, they keep you moving. Keep moving. Get a ticket. Get a ticket to the London Dungeon. Have you been to that? That was like a thing. That's wow. That's a bummer. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. All these places are becoming like the same now. Because we've got the internet, we watch the same shows, and it's like, ugh. The London Dungeon thing. I got a kick out of it. They sprayed like water everyone, or at one point you were thinking the hall, it opens up and the tour kids are right behind you. That was freaky. I loved it. And the bridge. I guess, yeah, the counter. Everything's got a counterpart. I guess they repeat. Like it's Royal Albert Hall. Have you seen pictures in Boston? They've got this bridge, and there's the Bunker Hill Monument, which is a obelisk, and oh God, I think a while back now, late 1990s, when the Phantom of the Opera or something was big. That's still that, like all these cities, they got the same shows too. Phantom of the Opera. At the time, I think they had Starlight Express. I didn't see that one. It's like they kind of repeat. You were living in London at that time. Oh yeah. So it was probably cooler at that point, right? Yeah, the glass buildings. I don't know. They just seem kind of, soulless or whatever. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Everybody's fantastic in that. Is that the underground, like the art house stuff? That's what I was told, that you could see anything you want. They had the finest art house theater, the theater, um, you know, that type of thing there, that it was king of that. It was one of the, it's one of the places that I recall going that people, young people would want to be there and not move out. So maybe that's kind of changing. Gary Oldman. That is a shame. So it's fake. I guess you know what? There's like new places in the world that are coming up where the artists are going, like Austin, Texas. Austin, I guess Portland, Oregon. That's Portland, Oregon's like the comic book king world, I guess. The king of comic books. Yeah. Yeah. I've been a couple of times. It's like San Francisco. That's why you might dig that movie Atomic Blonde, because Charlize Theron, she's in Berlin, and the music is like awesome. New Order, Joy Division. Actually, I guess the stuff I mostly like is the blues. When Britain did the blues, I love that. Cream, Eric Clapton, Led Zeppelin. It was like their version of the blues. I have no idea. Still, this to this day, it's I go crazy. I go crazy over it, man. Phil Collins. It's all to me. It's all like blues, but it's their. They redid it. I wish I got to see. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Remember that manager guy? You're exploiting Led Zeppelin. The big guy. You're exploiting Led Zeppelin. He was great. It's. I mean, it just those type of things don't happen forever. You know, like it's like things change. It's almost like with the power and the color of technology, people want to see basically very, very attractive women singing. I hope it comes back. The days of the super guitar solos are kind of the drum solos and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I can't even. You can't even. When you have a conversation with people, they can't even relate. Like, what's your favorite band? Never heard of it. I love who. What? Who's I liked Underworld. At the beginning part of this thing, I was talking about how there's been countless movies of this stuff. I know. And that was newer. It was newer then, I guess. Muddy Waters, the early pioneer of the electric guitars and stuff. It's funny how some of them, it's almost like the Stones were even almost bigger in the States, whereas Jimi Hendrix, they didn't understand over here, and he went over to the UK. It's like some more sophisticated art art seems to do better in the UK. They can maybe digest it better. I don't know, like Bill Hicks. I think you guys are talking about Bill Hicks. It's like Bill Hicks. Oh my God, John Lee. Met John Lee. Yep. John Lee helped out, I heard, Robert Cray a lot. I don't know if you're into Cray. Robert Cray, absolutely fantastic presence. I saw one time John Lee Hooker, B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Lonnie Brooks. Fantastic. Bayou Lightning Strikes. If you see the John Candy movie, there's one of them. He has like a poster there at random of Lonnie Brooks. Bayou Lightning Strikes. He's incredible. Robert Cray and Eric Clapton, the way they can sing and play, insanely good. In some ways, Cray's even got, he's even more power in his voice and stuff. Eric Clapton knows how to dress. He knows how to keep himself relevant. He just change as he grows older. He still finds a way to look cool. I know, me too. I was a singer a long time, but I can't play anything. I play a little harmonica. I'm not that good. Holy crap! It's getting late here, my brother. I might retire in. Anybody who checks out the Stosh vlog, I appreciate it. Gonna be going on soon as a to rap with the guys at the 4-Train team. It has been good, my friend. You are really interesting. This is good that we hooked up. We've got a lot more stuff to discuss. Sorry, this vlog tonight was a little sloppy, but we're on with our friends here in the UK who are apparently going through the same thing. The world is in lockdown. Focus on positive stuff. Say our prayers. We got to beat this thing together. I'm glad we met too. So maybe I'll be on tomorrow night. Not sure. I'll shoot you a message, whatever. And I gotta be better at promoting these things. Maybe get more people to rap on here. But this is a really good blend of what I'd call some high-end art discussions, parapolitics, and people trying to figure out what's going on. Basically, it's important, and it's important to investigate all. I know. I got to learn how to do this schedule so I can get some more people to rap on here and discuss stuff. All right, so I will wrap up for tonight, my friend. And anybody else who checks this out, Prince of Darkness, John Carpenter, check it out. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is all in the mix. Check out these films if you're looking for something a little more heavy, something to digest. And cheers, my brother out there. And I will schedule these better, and we'll keep working at it. Have a good night. Ciao.